everybody. I am so happy you are here tonight for the Pharma live stream and production update. It's been a little while since we have been on here, and it's one of our favorite things to do to connect with our fans and our supporters. So I am here to tell you, if you're a first-time follower or a first-time viewer, we're going to talk about Pharma and what is the movie all about. We're going to have some special guests come on. One of our producers is here. We have an investor here with us tonight, and some fun new team members have been added. I'm just curious, since there are so many new faces, where are you guys from? I'm looking at the comments here and just trying to check out where everybody is from. I know that we just went global. And so now what that means is we have followers from all over the world. It has been the coolest thing to be able to see people from Spain. I got an email yesterday. We get a lot of messages from Germany. There's Australia in the comments. Somebody's from Dallas. It's so awesome that through technology like this, it's one of the good things that happened, right? That we're all able to connect and be able to talk about important things and things that we find interesting. So tonight, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about the team and what Pharma is for our new viewers. Pharma is the true story of Dr. Frances Kelsey. Think of it as Aaron Brockovich set in the 1960s at the FDA. That'll give you a little bit of a vibe for what we're going for. And it's an incredible true story about a woman who stood up to Big Pharma, and she blew the whistle to keep a life-threatening drug off the US market. That drug was thalidomide, and thalidomide was known to cause birth defects, and it was being sold all over the world, already only second to aspirin when it came across Dr. Frances Kelsey's desk. And she was one of the first people to stand up and say, I don't think that there's enough clinical evidence to support that this drug is safe. And so she stood up to the powers that be, and she risked it all. And that is truly the heart of our story. It's about this incredible woman and her comrades banding together to stand up to Big Pharma and expose the corruption and injustice that was happening. So I would love to introduce you guys to the screenwriter. Her name is Dory Zavala, and Dory also happens to be one of our producers. So meet Dory Zavala if you haven't already.
Hello, everyone. We're so excited to be here. The last live stream was so much fun, and this is our chance. Like, we really love getting your emails, and we're always responding to emails, but this is our chance where we feel like we really get to connect you guys a little bit more closely, and we just always have so much fun talking to you guys. So I'm really excited to be here tonight. I'm excited that we're doing this. As Ashley said, I am the screenwriter of Pharma. I'm also one of the producers, and I am also our production counsel. I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for over 20 years. I'm an entertainment attorney, and so I handle a lot of the legal and the business parts behind the scenes for the Pharma production. And we're really looking forward to getting this movie funded so we can get it out into the world. We really appreciate all of your support.
Absolutely. And if you're here tonight, I would love for you to tag one of your friends in the comments or send this link to invite others to join the live stream and to watch now. We know that we have tons of people that sometimes miss the live stream and they go back and rewatch them. But one reason that we want to encourage people to watch live is because we play some games and we do a little trivia. One of the perks of playing those games is that if you happen to win, one of the only ways that you can be entered to win a walk-on role as an extra in the movie is by either investing $1,000 or more, or by winning one of our games. So tonight, we are going to give an opportunity for three people who are watching live tonight throughout this live stream will be entered to win that coveted speaking role or a featured extra role. And we are also going to give away 3 one-on-one private consultations with the producers. Now, why do you want to talk to us? Well, first of all, because we're cool. I'm just kidding. But really because Dory's an entertainment attorney, first of all. Okay. Can you imagine the value of being able to talk to an entertainment attorney for 30 minutes? I mean, Dory, what is your going rate for a consultation?
About $400.
Okay, so there you go. There's a $400 value right there if you win one of our games tonight, just by talking to Dory for 30 minutes. And you don't have to be a filmmaker. Maybe you are a filmmaker and you want to pitch us your project or learn about how we've been making this movie happen, what we're doing behind the scenes, or maybe you're just a film fan and you want to talk to us about your dog. And that's fine by me too. It doesn't matter to us.
Or a cat person.
Either way, tonight we're giving away 3 of those one-on-ones with us to connect with you. So if you win tonight, not only will you get that one-on-one, but you will also be able to be entered to win that speaking role in the movie. Let's see, we have a question here. Do YouTube watchers have the same opportunity to win as those Facebook snobs? Actually, yes, we can see all of the comments in real time through our platform. So we are seeing YouTube and Facebook across different pages, all in one little comment. Is there someone you know that would love to win a one-on-one or a speaking role? Tag them in the comments, please. Thank you, Andrew, for sharing. Charles, thank you. We appreciate the comment. Hello, Francis. We are so glad all of you are here. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ashley Bratcher. I am the lead producer on Pharma, and it's my job to basically oversee and steer the ship. When we talk about different roles in filmmaking, I always equate being a producer very much to being like a general contractor. Your general contractor oversees the build of a house and makes sure that all the departments are working together for the build to come together for the vision of the client. Well, in this case, the vision is the movie. And so it's all about putting together different pieces to make this movie the perfect vision that we have in mind. Dory, can you tell us a little bit more about the story since you're the screenwriter? Just a brief synopsis for those people who are just now tuning in who want to know what is the movie about.
Well, it's set during a really cool period of time in U.S. history. It's in the 1960s. JFK had just become president. And so you have all of that, you know, the cars and the clothes and everything from that time period, which I just think is so cool as it is also. But it's just this really interesting and empowering story, I think, about people standing up for what they believe in and doing the right thing. Thalidomide is a drug that had been approved all over the world, as many of our followers and supporters have pointed out. It was approved in Australia and Canada. In the UK, it's had, you know, devastating effects worldwide. And our story is about it being presented in the US. Our film is about it being presented in the US for approval, and how Dr. Kelsey at the FDA challenged that approval and ultimately kept it from being approved for the US market. Although, come to find out, it was being given out in the US through a marketing loophole.
It's important to note that we've seen a lot of comments on some of our Facebook posts from people around the world, because now more and more people around the world are paying attention to our project, and they've commented and said, this didn't just happen in the United States. This happened in Australia. We know this happened in Japan. This happened in Spain. It's happened everywhere. But what we're talking about now is that Dr. Frances Kelsey prevented the mass tragedy here in the US. So thanks to her, we weren't affected nearly as much as Germany or Canada. But something that people also don't realize is that our survivors here in the United States are some of the only survivors in the world who have not been recognized. The survivors here in the US have not received recognition or restitution, and we want to utilize our movie and our platform to be able to give those survivors a voice. So if you go to our webpage, which is pharmathemovie.com, you'll be able to see some of the testimonies from thalidomide survivors that we've connected with. If you're a thalidomide survivor, we'd love to say hello to you in the comments. We have several that we stay in contact with. They're wonderful people. I'm actually working with them directly right now. We're fighting at the Capitol to get some legislation in place to recognize these incredible people. But it's been wonderful to get to know them and hear their real stories and learn how they've been impacted. Because not only is Pharma a movie about Dr. Frances Kelsey and what she did, but it also tells the story of a woman who gives birth to a baby affected by thalidomide. So we try to encompass how this tragedy affected people across the board. We have the doctors, we have the FDA, we have the pharmaceutical company, and we have the real life people who had to deal with the effects of this tragedy. So again, if you're a thalidomide survivor, say hello. We love to connect you all, and we'll give you a shout out as we see you in the comments. Now that we are expanding our team and expanding our following, and there's so many new faces, we have over 8,000 people who have subscribed to our email and our project. I think we've reached over like 1,500 investors, if I'm not mistaken. How many investors do we have now? Like 1,500. So 1,500 investors, over 8,000 people following along. Some of you don't really know us that well. So for our first game, we thought that we would give you the opportunity to get to know us a little bit more beyond the filmmaking world. And we would give you guys the opportunity to play 2 truths and a lie with us. So here's how it's going to go. Don't put anything up yet behind the scenes. Jessica, our associate producer behind the scenes, is just waiting to throw this up for you. Here's how it's going to work. If you're watching right now, this is your first chance to win that one-on-one and be entered to win the speaking role in the movie. We're going to put up 2 truths and a lie for both Dory and myself. I'm going to go first. So on the screen, you're going to see 2 truths and 1 lie. The first person to guess which one is a lie about me in the comments is going to be the winner of this first game. So Jessica, go ahead and put it up. 2 truths and a lie for Ashley. Let's see. Who can guess which one of these things is a lie? A, I was in a show that David Fincher directed. B, I practiced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. C, I am a women's champion longboard and shortboard surfer. Which one of those things do you think is a lie? I can't wait to see in the comments which one. Which one? I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to decide. Dory, do you actually know the answer to this?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think I
know you well, so that's why.
Say what?
I said I know you well, so that's why I know the answer. But those are really good ones that you picked.
Okay, but yours, I was actually shocked because I don't know. When we throw yours up, I'm going to be surprised. Oh, okay, I'm going to go look at the comments. Okay. Who was the first to get it right? It was Renee. Congratulations. You are correct. There is a little backstory to this lie, though. Yes, I do practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If my coach is watching right now, she's going to be really mad because I've been missing class the last couple of weeks. I've been busy, but I am trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I actually competed. I love the sport so much. That was actually something Dory and I talked about when we first met, was our love for martial arts. It was something we connected on. Yes, I am actually a champion longboard and shortboard surfer, at least back in the day. In 2008. You
had the bruises to show for both of those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dory saw me a couple of weeks ago and I had a giant bruise on my arm and then another one on my leg from jiu-jitsu and surfing. But I'm actually decent. Okay, I have won and placed in competition. But in 2008, I was the Eastern North Carolina women's shortboard and longboard champion. So Renee, you got it right. The lie is that I actually was not in a David Fincher show. But the reason that I picked this to share with you guys is because David Fincher is one of my favorite directors. I just think that the way that he tells stories is so compelling and there's so many twists and turns. And I had the opportunity to audition for his show Mindhunter on Netflix. And I booked it. I was so excited. I actually booked the role. And about 3 days, I think it was like 3 days before I was set to go film my episode of Mindhunter, I got a call that the episode had been rewritten and my character no longer existed. So I was just like, I was devastated. So it's a lie, but I was so close to working with one of my favorite directors. So if you know David Fincher, tell him I said hello and I'm still waiting for that call. Renee, we'll make a note and we'll get in touch with you after the live stream so that we can connect with you and figure out how you'd like to go about connecting with us and chatting and make sure you're entered for that speaking role. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Dory. Let's see what Dory's 2 truths and a lie is. And again, I don't actually know the answer to this. So 2 truths and a lie. Dory, A, I am a brown belt in Taekwondo. B, I'm an only child. C, I'm fluent in French. Which one is the lie? Tell us. Don't tell us yet, Dory. I mean, I want the audience to guess. But I was really shocked when you put these in because they seem like I know. I probably should know. I thought I knew. I think I know. I know the answer.
You should know.
But the lie wouldn't surprise me. Like if the lie is what I think it is, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the truth.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. It made me second guess how much I know you, actually. I was like, wait.
Oh, okay. I think you know. I think you know. Yeah.
Okay, Dory.
I love all the comments and I love that everybody's getting involved with guessing and so fun.
Yeah, I know. I saw this one comment. I'm just gonna throw it up because don't mess with Ashley. She'll put you.
And I love the name too, Depressed Optimist. That's hard to do. So
Oh, these are great.
These are
That's a
awesome.
great comment. That's true. I've got Dory's
True.
back too.
Well,
Okay, so then Dory, you need to scroll through the comments and see who guessed right first. Are you seeing the answer?
okay. So it's the lie that I'm pointing out, right?
Yes, 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 yes. The lie. Don't mess us up.
Okay. Let's
It's,
see. What is my lie? Okay. It looks to me from the comments that John Steer got it right,
okay, put his
which
comment
is
up on the screen.
C. C. I'm
C.
fluent in French.
So
Yeah,
you're not fluent in
I am
French.
not fluent in French. I'm fluent in Spanish, but not
That
French.
that I knew, but guys, let me just tell you, this woman is brilliant. I mean, when I say brilliant, I don't give compliments freely. This woman is brilliant. So when it's when it said I'm fluent in French, I was like, oh yeah, she probably is. So all of these are true. Because I did
It's
know
so
that
funny.
you did Taekwondo. So I probably kind of gave that away because I said, like we shared this love for martial arts. Sorry about that. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, tell them a little bit about that because I love for people to get to know us beyond just the movie, right? Because when people invest in a project, you're not just investing in a movie, at least not for us. You're investing because you believe in us and hopefully you like us. And so I think it's fun to get to know us behind the scenes because yeah, we're just normal people who like to do fun things and Dory, beyond being a brilliant screenwriter and attorney, apparently has a brown belt in Taekwondo.
I do. I do have a brown belt in Taekwondo. Not quite to black. I haven't been practicing for a while, so I need to go back so I can get those last couple belts just to get there. But I like it a lot. I love martial arts. I do some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, have in the past, and Krav Maga. So I just love it. I just think it's really empowering, and I like feeling like I know how to defend myself, and it's just a lot of fun. And Ashley and I both share our love for that. So that's awesome. And I'm an only child, pretty self explanatory. Shout out to my parents. It's just me. And then, yeah, I'm fluent in Spanish. And I did want to touch on that a little bit.
Wait. Hold on. Can we just get Dory's parents to say hello in the comments? I know you're there.
They
Hello to
might be
Dory's
there. They'll be like, how do we leave a comment? We don't know.
Whatever. They're going to surprise you. Hey, Dory's parents. We hope you see it.
Probably.
Anyway.
Yeah. So as far as fluent in French and Spanish, I wanted to say I'm not fluent in French. I do speak some French, but I'm fluent in Spanish. And that's really important to me because I know that thalidomide affected the whole world and a lot of it was in Latin America. And I really just have such a heart for Latin America and the countries. And I know that it really affected that there. So I would love to do some videos or outreach or something to Spanish speakers as well. I think that would be so cool as part of what we're doing
for sure.
with our work.
That's a great idea, Dory. So if there's anyone watching right now who is fluent in other languages who would like to be a part of our ambassador program, maybe create some social media or do some call outs, create videos for us, we would love to work with you. And there are special perks to being an ambassador. You can go to pharmathemovie.com/ambassadors or just go to Pharma the Movie and navigate over to that tab. If you're someone who wants to help us spread this message across the world and you speak a different language, please reach out to us because we are aware of how much this impacted different countries. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Spain just recently in the news regarding thalidomide and a resolution? I think that they were recently getting a payout of some sort. If
A
I'm not mistaken.
recognition. They
Yeah.
did test something.
I think that was the most recent country to get some sort of recognition for their survivors and praying that the United States is next. It's long overdue. Long overdue. It's been a thing that people have acted like it never happened, and it did happen, and we want these survivors to be recognized. Okay, moving on. We mentioned that we have been growing our team. So the first person that we would like to introduce you to is Working Magic backstage. She is the Wizard of Oz tonight, and her name is Jessica. Jessica has joined us as an associate producer. She has been incredible. She is helping reply to your emails. She sees your comments on social media. She sends out press releases. She's a master of all trades, I think. I really do. I think she's a master of all trades. That's not even a thing to say. You're a Jill of all trades. That's what we'll say.
Yeah.
Jessica, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to join the Pharma team.
Yeah, so I think it's been about a month or so that I've been officially on the team. It's so funny, honestly, how Ashley and I even connected. Ashley is living in my hometown, which is a small place in North Carolina. So I feel like that's just kind of crazy. The stars all aligned. And yeah, now we connected and I'm working on Pharma and it's just been amazing. I really believe this story needs to be told. And I'm just so honored to be working with such incredible women who are just amazing in their fields and at everything they do. And I have a lot to learn. So very, very excited.
Well, you're doing an amazing job. One thing that I would like to announce that Jessica has just accomplished is leading our partnership program. And we have just partnered with an organization, Jessica. That organization is
Girls in STEM.
So if anyone from Girls in STEM is watching right now, or you know of Girls in STEM, we are starting a new partnership with them to help get more girls in the STEM fields. And we love what they're doing. And we're going to be highlighting them on social media and working with other organizations that share the similar mission. So if you are part of an organization that would like to partner with us, you can hit us up to do that too. Jessica, thank you so much for working that magic behind the scenes.
Of course, I'll be in the comments.
And if you have been following along and you happen to subscribe to our emails, which if you don't, you should. You can look at that. We have a little QR code right there. If you don't already subscribe to our emails, there are already 8,000 plus of you that do. But if you don't, scan that little QR code. The reason I mention it is because if you do, then you know already that we added a very big team member to our production, and his name is Mark Fincannon. Mark Fincannon is a 40-year veteran filmmaker, Emmy award-winning casting director. He is incredible. All of these movies and TV shows that you see here on the screen, he has been a part of casting those, and we're thrilled to work with him. He has an incredible eye for talent, and we know that he is going to do a great job of blending this cast and helping us find the perfect Frances Kelsey. If you've been following us on social media, you also know that we have been posting fan casting pics, and some of your answers have been really fun. We would love for you, if you haven't already, go to our social media pages and tell us who you think should play Dr. Frances Kelsey. We want to have a star name. We want to have someone with some credibility, some name recognition, and you guys have had some really great ideas. So go over there, click on those posts, and tell us who it is that you think should play Dr. Frances Kelsey. Now, in addition to growing our team, we have been growing our fund to make this movie. Since we opened our second round of crowdfunding, we have raised an additional $200,000. It has been incredible. We are utilizing a method called equity crowdfunding, and we are using a platform called WeFunder. Dory, would you explain to everyone a little bit about what makes equity crowdfunding different? A lot of people get confused and they think, oh, they're making a donation, which we do accept donations, but we're talking about equity crowdfunding. So explain how this is different than a donation or an Indiegogo type thing.
Right. This is an opportunity to actually own a piece of the movie. So it's kind of like when you buy a stock, you're buying shares in a company. That's similar to what this is. So you're crowdfunding and buying a portion, but it's an investment. So as opposed to Indiegogo or Kickstarter, where you're donating money and maybe you receive a gift in return, here you're actually investing. So we do have some amazing perks that we give to our investors, and we really want our investors to be involved with the process. And we love, having that interaction with our investors, but it also is an investment. Well, we can't guarantee all of the returns and everything on it. It's just important to know that you'll own a piece of this with us. So you would go to our WeFunder page. I think we have, I don't know, Jessica, if you could put up on the page, it's investinpharma.com. Basically, to find out more, you can find out all of the terms of the investment. But like I said, it's important to know this is not a donation. We do have a way to donate if you would like to do that, but this is an investment to have actual ownership and equity in the movie.
Yeah, and that's a really rare thing for the general public. This is something that just became more popular over the last couple of years because it was typical for only accredited investors to be able to invest in movies. It wasn't something that was available to the general public. And so now you can invest for as little as $100 and own part of our movie. And beyond that, we've added fan experiences because we just love this whole process and it being interactive and being a journey with our fans, that there are different perks. So when you go on to investinpharma.com, you'll be able to see a list of perks down at the bottom of the page, like being in the movie, coming to set. You could walk the red carpet with us. You could own movie memorabilia. Because we have a 1960s period piece, there's going to be some really cool props, and somebody's going to have the chance to own some of those one-of-a-kind pieces. I was actually in, gosh, what is his name? Glenn Beck. I had gone to Glenn Beck's studio one time for an interview, and this is such a random story, but I mention it because he has tons of movie memorabilia, and he has the original Darth Vader mask. I was like, this is so cool. So if you're like me and you love movie memorabilia, then that is definitely a cool little perk that we have for you. Tonight, we have someone joining us who is very special, and we're so, so grateful. She's such a huge blessing, and her name is Debbie Vines. She is actually our lead investor for this round of crowdfunding, and Debbie has made a huge commitment to supporting our project. So we're going to have Debbie come on and talk about why she chose to invest $100,000 as our lead investor. Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Ashley, how are you?
So good. We're so glad that you're here to join us tonight.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here, thrilled to be a part of the team.
We love Debbie so much.
Well, in addition to just being such a huge blessing, I mean, you're one of the kindest, most encouraging people that has come on board our team. Just reading your emails and seeing how you engage on social media and you talk to our followers as well. It's been really nice to have that. We love having that positive energy, and you've been a real light in this difficult challenge of making a movie, which can be so chaotic.
Oh, well, thank you. It's been a big blessing for me. It's been amazing.
Well, Debbie, I want to talk a little bit about your decision to invest because it was a big investment. That's not something to take lightly. $100,000. You led the round. You believed in the movie that much. So I guess my first question would be, how did you even find out about our project?
Well, actually, I saw an ad. I've been blessed to be involved in a couple of other independent films the last few years and a couple of films through crowdfunding. And I saw the ad and was just immediately drawn to the story.
And what was it in particular maybe about the story that had you heard of Frances Kelsey before? Was there something about it that really just hit home for you?
Well, I had heard of thalidomide. I don't think I had ever heard of Frances Kelsey and the big contribution she made. And the more I read what was online about the story, I was just in total shock that no one's ever made this film. It's such a miraculous, really a miracle that this drug was assigned to her. Probably one of the, or maybe the only person at the FDA with the experience, the knowledge, and the courage to take a stand like she did. It's quite likely that had it been assigned to someone else, it would have been just rubber stamped and resulting in many more tragic outcomes for our country.
Yeah, that was something that Dory and I have talked about quite a bit, is that she was just she was qualified in such a unique way to be in her position. Dory, can you speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, she was amazingly qualified. She had a PhD in pharmacology, and then she went to medical school. So she also had a medical degree. So whereas most of the medical officers at the time reviewing the applications had a medical degree, they didn't have that pharmacology background. In fact, a lot of people don't know that her husband was also a pharmacologist, also had his PhD in pharmacology, and they wrote a book called The Essentials of Pharmacology that was used all throughout the US in universities to teach pharmacology. So she was far and away an expert in this field. So when she got that NDA for thalidomide and looked at it, she was uniquely qualified to know that there were problems with that application.
Yeah, it's again a really incredible story, and it's shocking to me that it had never been made before. That was the reason that I reached out to Dory in the first place, because I was just like, this has to be made into a movie. How does nobody know about this? So then, was there anything that surprised you, maybe other than it hadn't been made into a movie? Was there anything else that you felt like was maybe shocking, or that you learned that you didn't realize?
I think just the more I read about the details of how it happened and the more people that looked the other way or that didn't investigate, eh, and then the outcome, I just was so amazed that the story is so relatively unknown.
Yeah, we agree. And it seems like it's perfect timing, to be honest. More and more people are talking about this topic. We've seen the success of Dope Sick. We've seen Painkiller now on Netflix, and we just emerged from a global pandemic. So all of these things combined, it's the perfect time for this movie to come out and for people to start talking about it. Dory has often referred to this almost as a prequel to Painkiller. It's a great example of what led into these events and what it looked like prior to that happening. Uh, Debbie, making such a big investment isn't easy for a lot of people. And you had shared with me that you went about it a different way to be able to really invest that much into pharma and commit. Can you explain to people what that process was like? And maybe if someone is thinking, wow, I really wish I could invest that much. I don't know how to do it, but I'm really passionate about it. Can you explain to them what your process was like? First of all, obviously it wasn't an overnight decision, I would assume. I assume that you didn't see an ad and you were like, oh, yeah, I'm going to invest $100,000 in that movie. So can you just maybe share a little bit of the process, how deciding how much you were going to invest and then determining what that was going to look like?
Sure. Well, it's funny. I remember reading down the list of investment amounts and being kind of shocked as I realized that I kept going and going and going, and I was leaning towards interest in a really large investment. I am so cautious with money, like the safest, you know, bank account, always tending to take a safe route and just very cautious in that way. So I was shocked that I was drawn to that investment. I decided to see if I could invest with IRA funds. And once I found out I could invest using IRA funds I already had set aside, I was pretty much sold. Then came the fun part of having my husband sit down and me say, "Hey, honey, there's something I want to ask you about." Um, and I think his initial thought was when I said, "I'd like to put $100,000 into this film you've never heard of," is, "Who are you and what have you done with my wife?" Because it was so unlike me. But really, he saw the potential too right away, recognizing the story was great and that really it was a reasonable gamble. Um,
And we
it
appreciate that. I'm glad that he believed that too. You know, Debbie, you did get to read the script. That was something that we talked about as well. And for anyone who is watching this, there is a perk level where you do get to read the script ahead of time. So if you invest at that level, you get to see what's on the paper before it ever hits the big screen. And that was something that seemed to have an impact on you as an investor, was reading the script. What was your reaction to reading the script?
Well, certainly my reaction to reading the script is I understand why it's winning awards. It's an amazing script. I was pretty much sold just on the story, but then once you really read the script, there's just no doubt. I think we're looking at a classic. I think we're looking at a great opportunity for people to be a part owners in a classic, and it's it's so much more fun to invest in a film than like in a stock or in some CD. I mean, I've been privileged to go be on set with a couple of the films that I've been a small part of, and that's such an amazing experience. And um, to to be able to see your money at work and to think, I'm a part of having this story, which is so important, be put out there for people on film and really be publicized and get the attention that it deserves.
Absolutely. And we think that media is one of the greatest ways to reach people, especially with movies and stories that have impact. So we hope that Pharma does all of those things. And we are we know we're very optimistic that it will. We believe in it. We wouldn't be sitting here making this live stream right now and raising all this money to make the movie if we didn't. So we're grateful that you see that as well. Dory, I know she was really happy to hear that you loved the script. It's always nice as a screenwriter, I'm sure, to get that kind of affirmation. You talked a little bit about the script winning awards. For those who don't know, the script did win several awards. It was a was a second round finalist in the Austin Film Festival. Dory, just tell us what were the different placements for the script?
Yeah, it was second round in Austin Film Festival, and it was top 10% in Nichols, which is the Oscars screenwriting competition.
So we got a little bit of credibility. Like a little bit. That's a decent script.
Right.
No,
it's fabulous.
So yes. I want everybody who's watching right now, just take a little pause. I want everybody to know that if you have questions for us, please put them in the comments. We're going to keep up with them throughout, and we'll answer more of them as we go. In just a few minutes, we're going to play another game. So you have another chance coming up to win an entry for a speaking role in the movie and a personal one-on-one with us. So make sure if your friends left, tag them and get them back on here, because that's your only way, right? Was investing a minimum of $1,000 or winning one of our games to get a guaranteed spot in the movie. So tag your friends, get them back on the live. We're going to be playing a game in just a few minutes. And if you have any specific questions for Debbie is our lead investor for this round, who invested $100,000. So if you have any questions for Debbie and you want to pick her brain about what in the world would inspire her to invest this much money, then please comment and we'll ask her those questions while she's on. But while we're waiting on that, Debbie, if there's anything that you could say to someone right now who's on the fence maybe about investing, even if it's just $100, what would you say to that person who's like, I want to invest, but I'm not sure? What would you say to that person?
Mm-hmm. Well, I believe in addition to the fun, the film being more fun than other investments, I believe this story is so important because it shows us that heroes are real. They're not just characters in a comic book or characters on the latest action hero film. Dr. Kelsey courageously stood for truth at great personal risk, and her stand ended up making a difference to thousands of families in the U.S. that would have otherwise suffered the horrendous effects of thalidomide. So I think it's an opportunity to bring a wholesome, important story to film so that viewers can be inspired and encouraged while they're being entertained.
Absolutely. We completely agree. And I think it's just going to go on for years and years and years. These are the kind of movies that we see just continue for decades. I mean, I still love watching Aaron Brockovich. I've probably seen that movie a dozen times. Same thing with Hidden Figures, Dark Waters, movies like that. I think are so impactful. So I'm really glad that you believed in us and that you're here. You're a part of our team. I'm just double checking that we don't have any questions before you hop off. Let's just double check. I think you shared a lot of really great information. So if somebody pops up with a comment later that is specifically addressed to you, we'll follow up with you and give an answer to our viewers so that they'll know. But otherwise, we're just so grateful that you hopped on tonight to share your heart for pharma and why you think it's important. And we're happy to have you on board. So thank you so much, Debbie, for joining us. And we hope you have a great night.
Well, thank you. I'm just so thrilled to be part of the team, and I can't wait to see who's cast in those roles. So,
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie.
All right. Debbie is amazing. We feel so blessed to have her be a part of our team now. And we just need to get to the $2 million mark, and we're going to go into production. That is our goal. We hit $2 million. We are able to put this movie into production. We are not that far away from it. We could literally be filming this movie at the beginning of next year. So if you go to our website, investinpharma.com, you'll be able to see where we stand right now. And there is a really important thing to note about the investment opportunity right now, which is the early bird terms. Dory, can you explain that?
Right. So we have a limited amount of early bird shares that are available. And so this is still ownership in the company, but after these are all gone, they're going to be on less favorable terms. So this is the time to get in. We're nearing the end. We don't have a whole lot of them left. So if you're thinking of investing, if you're on the fence and investing, don't wait, because it will be changing, and the price could go up. There's a lot of different terms that can change on it. We can't go too much into all of the terms, you'll have to visit investinpharma.com and you can see everything laid out there. But just know that it's a limited time and you need to hop on it now soon before they're gone.
It's essentially like getting a discount. It's like a pre-sale, right? It's like getting a discount because you believed in us first. So I'm just sorry. I just got distracted by a comment here. It said, hold on. Okay, someone said I'll try to recruit my neighbors even if there isn't a prize. Sorry, I saw that pop up and I thought it was related to
well,
something.
Earlier they said if we recruit additional investors, is there a prize we can win? Yeah.
Okay, I thought that related to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So then yes, please do recruit your neighbors though, because then you could all be on set together. If everyone happens to invest $1,000, you and your friends could all be extras on the movie together. That'd be really cool. And it's a 1960s piece. I keep saying that because it's so fun to dress up and pretend to be in a different era. I think it'll be a really fun experience for our fans to be able to be on set, be in the movie, and experience all of that with us.
And that was something I wanted to add in, Ashley, going to what Debbie said, that it's a lot more fun to invest in a film than, you could put that $1,000 just into stocks, into the stock market on Robinhood or whatever. Or you can invest in the film and do this with us. Like, this is very important for us to have you guys come along on this trip with us. And, we're going to be showing behind the scenes on set that's only for our investors. And, just really making sure that you guys are seeing behind the curtain, which a lot of people don't get a chance to do in film. So I think that's a really unique opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are still kind of making up your mind and you're like, I want to invest, but I'm not sure, then one way to keep in touch with us and watch what we're doing is to subscribe to our email list. So you can go to pharmathemovie.com, or if you have your phone, you can scan that little code. Let's see if I can do this. I did it right. It's always backwards. I feel like when you try to point to something on the screen, that is where you can scan to join our email list. Okay, let's take a little break from business and let's play a game. We're about to start trivia. Your last chance right now to tag your friends in the comments if you want to compete against them. We're going to play a little trivia game right now. And the way this is going to work is we're going to throw up some different questions on the screen. And the first person to get 3 answers correct is going to be the winner. That person will receive a one-on-one with the producers, and we can talk about whatever you want. It'll be your personal time to talk to us. You can pick Dory's brain about entertainment law, or you can talk to me about how to become an actor, or again, we can talk about your dog or your cat. We'll just have a good time. It'll be a good conversation. But you could win that right now. And you'll also be entered to win a speaking role in the movie. So we are going to start the trivia right now. And the first person to get 3 answers right during our trivia will win. Okay, Miss Jessica, behind the scenes, can you throw up our first trivia question? What was the name of the drug that Dr. Francis Kelsey blocked from being approved in the U.S.? Surely you all have been paying attention. Do-do. I need to get that music. The do-do-do-do.
Oh, we do need that.
I feel like in a future live stream, we should host a real Jeopardy type game show.
That would be so much fun.
I think it would be a blast.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go through here. Jessica, can you star the first answer for us over here? And we will see who got that answer right first. We're looking at a couple of different platforms, and I see the answer over and over and over, but we're just double checking to see who the first person was to get it right. And it was Andrew Dempsey. Thank you so much, Andrew. That is right. It was thalidomide. It's something we've been talking about nonstop on this live stream, and it is the core topic of the movie. So that was a really easy question to get us started. Andrew, you have got 1 correct. By the way, I just want to give Andrew a very special shout out. I got the opportunity to meet Andrew about 2 weeks ago because we had our short film screening at the festival in Atlanta. It was the Atlanta Women's Film Festival, and Andrew lives in Atlanta, and he came out and he watched our screening. So Andrew, I'm glad to see you here in the live stream participating. Congratulations on that one. And I appreciate you, and we're grateful for you to being here, being an investor, and playing along. All right, let's go on to the next question. Number 2. What was the primary purpose of thalidomide, the drug at the center of the scandal? Now, depending on where you are in the world, you might have a different answer, but we will accept either or. There is a primary purpose that we discussed earlier and is a major storyline in the movie. So, what was the primary purpose of thalidomide, the drug at the center of the scandal? All right. Wow, you guys are fast. It's it's a speed round over here to see these answers come in. Wow. Okay, do we have a winner for that question? Oh my goodness. Andrew, you were first again. I feel like Andrew is just right there. He is ready to rock and roll. Okay, so Andrew's got 2 right already. You guys are going to have to be a little bit faster if you're going to beat Andrew. We still have several questions. So there's still an opportunity for somebody else to win. We have several questions. I do want to just talk about that question again for a second, though, because the question was, what was the primary? Yes. So the answer is thalidomide was used to treat morning sickness, but it was also commonly given as a sedative. And I just wanted to mention that because in the 60s, it was very common for women in particular to be prescribed sedatives. And especially around the holidays, it was well known that Merrill Pharmaceutical was excited about selling this drug in the US during the holidays. And that was part of their marketing plan because everybody needs a sedative during the holidays, apparently.
Especially hysterical women. Women were hysterical around Christmas.
So
I
beyond
still get
morning,
hysterical around Christmas, but
beyond morning sickness,
everybody does.
Yeah. Okay. So question number 3. To get a drug approved, the pharmaceutical company must submit an NDA. NDA is short for what? I'm curious to know if people are going to get this answer correct quickly because I think there's an obvious first thing that pops into your head. And I'm just curious if somebody's going to say that or if they really know what NDA stands for. Oh, nope. 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 Nobody's gotten it yet. Oh, wait. No, somebody did. I think somebody got it. We should mention,
Guesses,
do we have, yeah, there were some good guesses, but did I see that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Diane, it's new drug application. Let's put that banner for the answer back on the screen. Diane, you got that right. You're up with 1. But the answer was new drug application. And in the 60s, they were overwhelmed with new drug applications. We actually have a historical photo of one of the women at the FDA sitting on a pile just of stacks and stacks of NDAs. And what happened is that if these NDAs didn't get approved within 30 days, then they were automatically approved. Like if they didn't get reviewed and denied, then these drugs would automatically get approved. They were just so overwhelmed. And that was part of the reason that Frances Kelsey caused such an uproar because she wasn't going to let that happen because she knew that thalidomide wasn't safe. Okay, so Andrew's got 2, and I think Diane has 1. First person to get 3 wins. All right, question number 4. What was the primary reason Dr. Kelsey had concerns about the safety of thalidomide and its NDA?
This is a tough one.
I feel like I said it earlier. So if you were paying attention, you probably heard it. I might have even just said it right now. I feel like sometimes I just blurt the answer. Yeah, it's a good question though. Why did she have concerns?
Good question.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily like it's not like a one line kind of answer.
I think there could be a couple different answers. There is concerning things.
Yeah, it's a discussion that we can have. So when we see your answers, we'll look and see who's the closest to what we want to share about it. Oh, okay. You know what? I don't know. I feel like Pete. I feel like Pete might be the one. I feel like that's closest. Yeah. Right, yeah. Dory? Okay. Yeah. So Pete, we're going to give you that one because it really had to do with the fact that there was not enough evidence to support its safety, which relates back to clinical trials. I think there had only been animal testing. Isn't that right, Dory?
And yeah, so, there actually was only testing on rats that were given to Dr. Kelsey. So there was no human testing at all that was done.
So
and that was part of her concern is she said, well, rats will metabolize the drugs differently than humans will. So that doesn't necessarily mean that's how it's going to work. In fact, it didn't even put the rats to sleep, and it was supposed to be a sedative.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but hold up. This question reminded me because I had made a note. I wanted to share this because I feel like often we describe Dr. Kelsey as someone who is kind of straight laced and followed the rules, which of course she was a stickler for the rules, obviously. But I think she had a little like feistiness in her because I read this article yesterday and I was like, yes, you go, Frankie. And she had written, it was documented in a 1960 memo that Dr. Kelsey described the material submitted by Merrill as an interesting collection of meaningless pseudoscientific jargon apparently intended to impress chemically unsophisticated readers. And I just thought she said that to her boss. I just like, oh wow, she really said that, huh? But it was such a great statement. What a thing to say in a memo. I would love to get my hands on that. So anyway, that was a fun little tidbit I was reading yesterday. Okay, so right now I think we have Andrew with 2, Diane with 1, and Pete with 1. We still have more questions. So the first person to get 3 right is the winner. All right, moving on to our next question. Dr. Kelsey's rigorous evaluation and refusal to approve thalidomide led to the passing of what significant U.S. drug regulation legislation in 1962? That's a tongue twister. Try to say regulation legislation 5 times fast.
The name of the legislation is tricky also.
If people watched our proof of concept and Torch when we were airing it publicly, they would have a big hint. They would know. Because there's a character in our proof of concept whose name is in this legislation. So if you watched our proof of concept or you have seen the senator in the proof of concept and you recognize his name, then you might know what the answer is to this. But also, let's be real, you guys are all on the internet right now, so I have no doubt somebody's Googling it. So it'll just be who's the first to Google it. But if we don't get an answer quickly, we will just go ahead and move on. Somebody said Drug and Safety Act, 1962 Drug Amendment. Ramona, that's close.
That's close. I'd go with Ramona. I think she's
I know we're not. That's not the answer, though. That's not the answer. She's missing like the main part. Ramona,
you're so close. Ramona, Google it.
No, we're not giving it to her. Oh, somebody just beat her to it. Did you see that? There's a typo. He was typing so fast.
You're so close, Ramona.
It was the Kefauver-Harris Amendment, and Senator Kefauver is actually in the proof of concept. So the Kefauver-Harris drug amendments made it so that before marketing a drug, firms now had to prove not only its safety, but they also had to provide substantial evidence of effectiveness for the product's intended use. And that was all part of Frances Kelsey setting these things in motion. Dr. Barbara Moulton was also someone who worked at the FDA around the same time and played a critical role in this legislation as well. I want to say she testified before Congress during these trials. So it's a really interesting collaboration between these women to pass this legislation and block this drug from getting approved. Because there were questions about drug pricing, bribery, all kinds of scandal. And these women were just blowing the whistle. Okay, so what is our score looking like, Jessica? Take that question off. Don't let anybody see it. I just wanted to score really quick. Jessica, so we have Andrew with 2. Let me make sure I got it right. Diane with 1. Pete with 1. And Depressed Optimist, whose name we do not know, has 1. Okay.
We love the name, but we don't know the real name.
We do. All right. We're running out of questions. So one of you's got to get it right fast. All right. Go ahead, Jessica. What's that question? In recognition of her efforts, Dr. Kelsey received the President's Award for Distinguished Federal Civilian Service. Which president awarded her? You're going to get this fast. Somebody is.
We talked about this at the beginning.
Jason, I see your name. Thank you.
Oh, Jason.
Somebody, I think they got it. Okay, but I don't know who was first. Jessica, who was first? I love playing these trivia games. If I could be a game show host, I think that might be my backup. Yes, Andrew, it was JFK. So it was in 1962. Is that when she was awarded? Is that right? Was it what year was it? 1962?
It was August of 1962.
Yes. And we were actually just talking about that this week because we're coming up on the anniversary of John F. Kennedy's assassination. And thank God, though, that he was in office when Dr. Frances Kelsey was doing this incredible work, because who knows if she would have been recognized. And we're just really grateful for his recognition of what she did. I mean, I'm pretty positive that he had every mother across the US check their cabinet in his statement where he went on national television and addressed the crisis and gave a huge thanks to Dr. Kelsey, in addition to awarding her the highest civilian honor. Okay, so then I think did Andrew just win? Andrew,
Andrew's a super fan. Thank you,
you were
Andrew.
on it, Andrew. Thank you so
Always
much.
supportive of us. We appreciate
Yes,
it.
and we saw a lot of you. We recognize a lot of your names, and we see that you come back. So we are really grateful that you're here and that you're still following along and that you play our games. We love doing it. Like I said, I might have that as my aspiration for my backup dream. Like maybe I'll be a games
that. Honestly,
host. That's what I'll do. Maybe after we make Pharma, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
No, I'm made for more. But it is fun. It is fun.
Ramona said that she's bad at trivia, but we love all of your support, Ramona, like on our posts, and you're always so encouraging, and we appreciate it so much. So you just practice for next time. Next time,
yes,
we'll play a game.
Ramona, seeing your name reminds me. I noticed that you happen to work with ambassadors on some other projects, if I'm not mistaken, on social media. So, Ramona, I've been thinking about it. I would love to email and connect with you because I wanted to talk to you about that a little bit. Because as we expand our ambassador program and really get into the nitty gritty, I would love to pick your brain about that. So, Ramona, email us, please. I would love to talk to you. That would be great. Okay. Well, that covers the trivia. The only other thing that I would tell you guys is we've been having a lot of fun at film festivals. We've been getting a lot of recognition for Pharma, the proof of concept in the film festivals, which is just further affirmation that this movie needs to be made. We are being recognized by our peers for our work and the quality of our work, and they think that it should be made too. So I wanted to share a couple of pictures with you guys from the last couple of weeks. These are several of the laurels that we have racked up. Lots of wins here. Just last week, we won for Best Drama Short Film at the Atlanta Women's Film Festival. That was where I had the pleasure of meeting Andrew Dempsey and several other people. It's been incredible to hear people come up and talk to us at these festivals and just share how they are impacted by the story and see their support. A lot of these festivals have partnered with us to help spread the word. They're emailing other filmmakers. They're putting the word out on social media about our project and supporting it as a feature film and getting it made as well. So getting this short film and proof of concept out on the festival circuit has been really helpful to get more eyes on it and get people to recognize that this is a story that is worthy of being on the big screen. We won Best Drama Short Film, or actually it was Best Overall Short Film at the Wine Women and Film Festival. There's Dory and I out at that festival. And back to this one really quick. Jessica up at the top right. You guys haven't met her yet unless you saw her earlier tonight. Jessica's our new associate producer, and she represented us most recently at the Awareness Film Festival. We had a presence at the Women in Film and Television Festival in Atlanta and in Flagstaff at the Flagstaff International Film Festival. So shout out to all of our film festival partners and all the festivals that have recognized us for our work. We're so grateful. That is part of the reason that you can't watch it online right now. We're sorry. Because when a short film or proof of concept goes through the festival circuit, they prefer that you don't have it just public for everyone to see, because we want you to come watch it at the festival. Which reminds me, we are screening it around the country, and we will be in Sholo, Arizona. Is it this weekend? This coming weekend? Yes.
Yep, I saw, Ramona, that you commented on that. That's your friend's festival. I will be there.
Yay.
I'm in Arizona, so I'm going to Sholo to represent. Excited.
Yes, I'm like pointing the wrong way. Yes. Okay. So Dory will be in Sholo representing our film there. We do know that we won an award. We don't know what yet. We can't wait to find out. But Sholo is a fantastic festival. Dory's going to be there. If you want to go out and meet Dory, you can go to our website, pharmathemovie.com/tickets. We're going to put that in the comments. So if you want to come meet us and see a screening near you, if you go to pharmathemovie.com/tickets, you can get tickets to these festivals. I am going to be in Coronado at the beginning of November. And then Jessica will also be in Santa Monica, I think it is, in the beginning of November for the Ethos Film Awards. And I'll be at the Coronado Film Festival. So there'll be an opportunity coming towards the end of the year where you can meet us in person and see a screening. And then after our festival run, we do have some plans for the short film and some different distribution outlets that we'll tell you about on the next live stream. But in the meantime, you come meet us at festivals. We love talking to people in person. It's been such a huge blessing. All right, so to wrap things up, we're going to answer some Q&A. If there are any pressing questions in the comments, we'll address those before we go. And let's see. What do we have here? We'll throw some up on the screen. I just want to address Eric. Eric, I had noticed your comments on social media before and had not been able to address them yet because we had thousands of comments in the last couple of weeks from people all over the world. But I saw your comment and I was really impacted by it because most people, I'm probably going to just slay how to say this, but is it Bendectin? Am I saying it right? Dory, do you know Bendectin?
I think so.
Okay, so Bendectin was a similar drug to thalidomide, caused similar birth effects.
DES, I think, also was a similar
What did you
drug.
say?
DES also.
Yes. And so this happened actually after the thalidomide scandal that more people were affected. So Eric, we would love to connect with you about this because obviously beyond thalidomide, there are so many things that have harmed people in terms of pharmaceuticals and companies not taking the accountability that they should for making sure that drugs are safe and effective, and innocent people have paid the price for it. So we would love to connect with you and hear your story. Very cool. You're a physician and we appreciate you being on our side. We love hearing that. We love connecting with people in the medical field, especially because it's a really intriguing issue, and being able to talk to experts in the field is always helpful. Okay, let's see. All right, here is a technical question that I will address because we get this question quite a bit. We did have our first round of crowdfunding was through Angel Funding Portal. This round of crowdfunding is through WeFunder. We have found that with WeFunder, we've had a more streamlined process, that investments have been easier for everyone. We're able to have more direct communication with you guys and be involved in the process. And so we are utilizing WeFunder.com for this round of investments. Are the investments we made through Angel Funding the same as the investments we made through WeFunder? Yes. So here's what's going to happen. Let's just say, for example, you invested $500 in our first round, and then you decided you wanted to invest more, which a lot of people did. Let's say you invested $500 more through WeFunder. We keep count of the total investment, and we apply that to your perk. So, for example, if you did $500 then and you did $500 now, those together would equal the $1,000 perk for being an extra in the movie. So yes, we are keeping them together. They are all still an investment in the same company, in the same movie. Everyone from that round is being treated the same as our early bird investors and the terms for this current offering. So everyone is owning the same movie. Your investment there counts just the same as it does now, except now you're getting more perks. So if you wanted to be an extra and you needed to invest $500 more to do it, you can do that and it counts. I hope that answers your questions. Yes, we keep them together. Everything is in the same company. Let's see. Where this kind of tacks onto that. Where is the filming location? It's a great question because a lot of people who want to be extras have asked this. And right now we are very much leaning towards Columbus, Georgia. That has been a very friendly town to us, that has welcomed us and wants us to be there. Georgia is very lucrative when it comes to tax incentives and filming locations, but we're open to it. This is something we're going to talk about more in a future live stream, is if we can find the right community that wants us to come and has the right locations and it works out financially, then we'll go somewhere else. So if you're part of a film community in Kentucky, which there's a lot of things filming in Kentucky, and you think that we can make it look like a 1960s period piece set in suburban Washington, D.C., let us know, because if you have enough people who are willing to say, come film at my location for a discounted rate, then we're going to do that. We're going to come where our community is going to partner with us the best and it makes the most financial sense. But our extras will get an advance notice. It's not like we're going to spring it on you at the last minute and say, oh, we're filming in Georgia, get on a plane. We're not going to do that to you. You're going to get an advance notice of where we're filming, but we just don't know quite yet where it's going to be. This is just a really nice comment I'm going to throw up. Thank you for making this movie. It means so much to me, and I'm sure millions of others. These are the comments that keep us going. I'm going to be honest with you, because making
It's
a
hard.
movie
This is a hard journey.
it is. It's really, really, really hard. This is not an easy path for a filmmaker to choose. We didn't realize that making a movie about this topic or taking on big pharma as indie filmmakers was going to be as challenging. And we we didn't think that studios were going to be scared to tell this story. We didn't realize we were going to be out here saying we're going to make it with or without you, studio, and then you're going to have to buy it in the end anyway. But we're trying to be brave, and these comments are, just refreshing to know that you believe in us and you believe in this movie. So thank you, Eric. We really appreciate it. Let's see. Can you publish list of festivals that you'll be appearing at? Pete, that's on our website, www.pharmathemovie.com/tickets. You can go check it out there on our website. That answers that other question. When will filming take place? We are hoping in the spring of 2024. If we hit our goal before, I guess, January, February, we'll be able to film. Our goal is $2 million to go into production, and we would be looking at the spring or late winter of 2024. You agree with that, Dory?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we would love to do that.
Okay, Ramona, I see your comment. Hook us up with Oregon, friend. Ramona says Oregon has great tax incentives. We just filmed a movie there. All right, friend.
I love Oregon. My parents are both from Oregon, actually.
Well,
I would love to film in Oregon. That would be amazing.
Oh, well, somebody else here is vying for it. Old Buildings and Restored Old Town Charm is president. And how do you say that? Dubuque?
Is it Dubuque?
Don't ask me. I'm Southern.
Oh. Nobody can correct us, unfortunately, so we just don't know. Sorry, guys.
Iowa and Illinois. Well, that's good to know, Laura. Email us. We would love for you guys to email us locations. It's hello@pharmathemovie. We read all of our emails. It might take us a little while to email you back because we actually do read them all. And we respond to them.
Fun, and we appreciate all of them.
Sometimes at 2 a.m. we respond, but we respond.
Yes, great ideas, Laura.
Melissa, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And let's see. If we recruit, this was the question from earlier, recruiting additional investors. So we kind of already answered that. Let's do this question here. How does distribution work to show it in theaters? So it varies with each film. And it varies on it depends on your distributor as well. A lot of movies more and more are going an independent route where they're able to buy out theaters themselves or make straight deals with different exhibitors, which would be the movie theaters. And it depends on the appeal and how many people want to see the movie. Right now, we're sitting in a really good position because we haven't even made the movie yet. And we have over 8,000 people who have subscribed to our email list. That's a lot of people who are following along a movie that hasn't been made yet and supporting it. So we hope to have a wide release. We hope to be in like 1,000+ theaters. That's the dream. But it all comes down to the finances as well, because we are going to make the best decision that we can for our investors. And that will be based on what distribution offer we get when we make this really amazing movie. Right, Dory?
Yes, but we have had some interest from major studios that we can't, disclose publicly the names, but we have definitely had interest in it. So
yes, NDAs.
We have some options down the road that we're excited about.
NDA, non-disclosure agreement, not new drug application. That was what everybody was saying.
Both NDAs. Those lawyers, they just like to make up acronyms.
But yes, huge interest from a studio with a global network. So we'll say that there's a lot of interest. Hey, Tim. Tim is a thalidomide survivor. Just giving you a big shout out here, Tim. I look forward to seeing you in DC next week. Tim has a birthday coming up this weekend. I told you we connect with you guys personally. Tim, when's your birthday? Is it on Saturday? I hope I'm right and I'm not missing it. I think it's coming up. Anyway, happy early birthday, and I look forward to seeing you in DC. I'm going with a group of thalidomide survivors to Washington, DC next week to knock on the doors of legislators to get them to listen. And we really are going to fight to get recognition and restitution for these survivors because we mean what we say, and it's more than a movie. This is really a movement for us, and we care about everyone involved. All right, guys, it has been a great live stream. I know we've talked your ear off, but we've really enjoyed playing along with you, and we have enjoyed reading your comments. We're so excited that you believe in us and that you're here and that you've invested. And we look forward to connecting with you more. You can email us anytime, hello@pharmathemovie. Please, 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 if you haven't invested yet, go to investinpharma.com. Send all of your friends there. We got to get to that $2 million mark so we can make this movie. Send all of your friends there. Forward our emails. Get them to join our email list. We know that this is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So keep sharing it on social media. Keep showing up. We see you. We appreciate you. We're going to close out tonight with one of our thalidomide survivor videos. If you haven't seen Robin's video yet, we're going to play that for you as we leave you tonight. And when Robin's video is over, if you feel so inclined to watch more, go to pharmathemovie.com to see more survivor videos, learn more about the project, and invest. And we're going to call it a night, and we are going to leave you with Robin's video. Thank you all for being here. Good night.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
My mother was well aware of it, that the drug that she took caused my deformity. She was given sample forms of the drug. It was due to the fact that she had severe morning sickness.
Something else you mentioned to me was this lawsuit.
I had a full skeletal x-ray, had an expert. He confirmed that I was a thalidomide survivor, and the representatives who, represented the pharmaceutical companies admitted guilt. But they were like, your client filed the suit 1 month and 6 days past the statute of limitations. And I was so young. Well, who am I to argue with attorneys? The pharmaceutical companies have made a boatload of money off of our existence. We have had advancements in the knowledge of fetal development. And yet, each and every one of us, we've all had to struggle for everything that we have. Regulations, as far as drugs are concerned, are very important. I think the media, movies, are so globally accepted and are a great tool to reach the masses.